is a senior citizen. He retired from the service a while ago. He has remained in the circle, and this is something we are recognizing and appreciating. Actually, let me take this opportunity to recognize our senior citizens, those people who are in service, have retired and have chosen to remain in the circle. Kagenyi, I see Wanakea, and Waweru will come over. Then we will take questions after Patrick has sipped his water. I'll give him 3 minutes just to tell us how practical these things are. Karibu, karibu.
Thank you, Morioke. I'm not very good at English, but this is a pure definition of the word ambush, because I was not told I was going to talk. But anyway, I cannot disrespect my chairman, Mr. Maige, who requested me to say something. As you heard, there is a word that has been misused in this forum. Wanaanga, you are one of the victims. You have misused that word. There is nothing like retirement. It is only transfer of services. You don't retire. Do we agree? In fact, you become more busy after leaving KMD or what you are doing. Because now you are doing your own things. You are your own boss. You control your time and you manage your time. So do we agree? Let me say something. Your 2 minutes ni sawa. But I would want to say, I really appreciate Wanaanga. Those of us who joined in December, I remember I joined in December 1985, and I have been a faithful member of Wanaanga. Without these people, I would not be where I am. Because it is upon me that every January, I always take a loan. Gojiri, Mainge, Morioki, and this gentleman, Rota, you can confirm that. Every January, I have to be here with a form. Sometimes I take money and I'm not sure where I'm taking, but I have to commit my income to pay a certain loan. Okay? So, as I thank these people for managing Wanaanga very well and professionally, I left Met. This is my 12th year. Early voluntary, I was not sacked, and I had only one regret. I was still in employment. That was my only regret. You people must understand that anything that I own or I do, it's not me. I have used your money. That better know. I have used your money. Because anytime I come to ask for 2-3 million, it's not me. My share is just 1 million. Your pesa jina ni anani? Ni yenu. So clap for yourself. Muone mumesaidia Waweru. Okay? So, when I was told I was going to be given 5 minutes, I have 2-3 points I would want to share with you. First of all, I would want you to try and ask what other people do in other circles. You will realize that yours is God sent. Your officials are always accessible. I don't know whether it is me, but I meet them everywhere, ask questions everywhere. And some of them whom I even don't know calls me. This lady used to call me. Wakati wa uchaguzi, I didn't know her. Yeah. But I can assure you, you have the best. In terms of financing, if there is any team that is really wanting to help you anytime, this gentleman. Actually, I'm one of those people who have been persuading them to take what we call collateral. Because I'll give you an example. Some of you, and I have seen you, when I ask you to sign the form for me to take a loan, you decline. Do you know Very soon you are joining me. Who will sign for you? Who will sign for you? Right now, I am sure I have over 1 million with a circle. I have not signed for anybody because nobody is approaching me. But me, when I'm in need, I approach people and I keep asking them, when are you going to take loans? So make use of us. Okay? And you are not even worried because you are employed. There is a pay slip. So please, please, those guys who are retired, take care of them. You are soon joining us. Okay? The other thing I would have wanted to mention is that opportunities favors the prepared. When you go out there, you will see an opportunity that cannot wait. And I really thank God for these people. We used to apply for a loan and stay for 3 months before you get your normal loan. Now I hear it is within the month. I would really want you people to move further and now give loans twice a month. Yeah? And even we move further and give loans weekly. Why? This country, opportunities will not last for a month waiting for your loan approval. That might take it to the bank. Opportunities come and you have to run away with it. So you have food for thought. Think, whatever you are giving, break it into 2 weeks. And with the time, break it to 1 week. And we'll all be there. Somebody mentioned about shares, us investing in shares. The biggest crime that retirees are, whatever you call yourself retirees are facing, is lack of cash flow. I'm not against the land selling company. In fact, I'm wearing one because I belong to one. But land banking, get admitted in hospital. For you to get money out of that plot, you will die, be buried, and be forgotten before the land is sold. So sometimes when you have got cash flow from your dividends, sometimes compare investing in shares and land banking. Yeah? And I hope we'll get a forum. I would advise you to, those of us who have retired, call us sometime and we talk, because all these are our brothers and sisters. So as I end, I would want to tell you where I am. I'm here, I'm there because of Wanaanga. For those of you who have the opportunity of taking this bottle, this is my investment. The machines to buy this, I bought at 5 million in India because I make the bottles. I was given that loan by Wanaanga. The borehole that you get water from, I get water from, and not even one, sponsored by Wanaanga. So, Ogudu told me he would not want to see the sun in Wanaanga anymore because they even don't know the owner. And it's even more expensive. And they do not contribute. I agree. This is the bride to go. So, why can't it be you? Why can't it be you? There is no miracle, isn't it? Just talk to Wanaanga. I can see Muriuki is getting impatient. And let me finish by saying, when we go out there, because of the environment that we live in, we are forced to get into other circles. I'm a member of another circle, but I can't compare with what we have. Yeah? And I can tell you for free, do not leave your mother. The people who used to retire some time back, they used to pull off their shares, isn't it? If you are preparing to retire, do not pull your shares from here. Nobody knows you outside that gate. Nobody. Previously, when I want to borrow 20, 30 million, I would go to Equity. Now that they can accept my collateral, I'll come and borrow some 30, 50 million. But I'm sure they will give me. So it can be you. Lastly, but not least, there is something I would want you to adapt. We were told by Wagali Madai that when you play around with the environment, nature is very unforgiving, isn't it? I would want to add something else. Save money today. The money will save you tomorrow. Do we get that? The money you save today will save you tomorrow. Okay? Lastly, always have a loan. When you don't have a loan, and I'm sure most of you, especially men, I don't know how many men, ni wangapi wako na hii wallet? Men. Kama uko naye toa. Nitolee tu. If you have a wallet, it's important. You have a wallet. Ebu fungua hiyo wallet. Fungua hiyo wallet. Just open the wallet. Yeah? Iko na nini? Yako iko na pesa gapi? 1000 gapi? 5. Maige? 6,000. Na wewe wameo? Yako iko hapo. What am I saying? The money that you put in the wallet is not your money. It is for sponsoring the lifestyle of other people. Your money is in brick and mortar. When you find a man carrying money in their wallet, haina kitu. Because what are these incidentals that Maige is going to have? Amebeba 6,000. Ni nini? And he said correctly, if you had not planned for it, forget it. And life continues. Ladies, I don't want to ask you because yenu najuanga title, marriage certificate, kila kitu iko kwa hiyo bag. Yenu si. I'm talking to the men. So, with those few ones, thank you very much, Nick, for giving me an opportunity. Mr. Ameo, I had thought that I know. Now I am sharpened, and I think I would want to be near where you are giving the lecture next. I believe I am a veteran in business, but I have learned so many things. God bless you, and please welcome to our world.
Thank you, Bwana Samuel Waweru. We now want to start winding up. We want to take questions, and we want to manage time better. As the credit committee, as the chair, look at what has been compiled by the secretariat. We will pick a few questions from here, then also respond to those that have been raised online. Secretariat, prepare for a mail. But let's begin with Patrick's presentation. To manage time better, let me do it row by row, or is it column by column? How many any question for Patrick here? Yes. Mpe mic tafadhali. Get straight to the question. Samajina. Next hand, is there another hand here? Done here. Nataka kupanga vizuri ndio tukomboe muda. Then another one here. Any other question for Patrick? There'll be one from Arab Mitei. So we have 3 questions. Let's begin with the first one at the back.
Yes, I'm Gerald Chien, share 4648. My question is, I'm a young man right now. I think my age group around here is very minimal. I'm below 35 years old. So what plans do we have as a society to help the young youths like me who are unemployed with a lot of ideas from the university? We don't have employment, but we are seeking that financial godfather to help us invest. We want your money to invest in our ideas. Asanteni. So what plan do we have to be the financial godfather of our youths who are just cleared the universities and they are unemployed? Thank you.
What plans do we have as a SACCO? I'm not sure. As a SACCO. So that's not Patrick's question, eh? Okay. So the chair will respond to that. There was another hand here.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Robert Sige, membership number 3394. As I was moving around, there's a request I've made. They're saying, well, we have had the message that to be paid something, if it is something like setting a loan, to be paid on our banks. But they are saying, for today, to be paid on M-Pesa. Kindly, if it's possible.
Okay, again, that's not a question for Mayor. I would have wished that we respond to the presentation, but we've taken note, Bwana Sige. Any question for Patrick? Because he may want to leave after this. I wanted him to address the questions. So if it is a question directed to us, we can handle that. Arapmite, is yours for Patrick?
It was for the chairman.
Okay, hold on, Kidogo. Okay, there you are.
Thank you, members. My question is to Bwana Mayor. Having spoken and having met many people who are like us, what recommendation would you give for a young man who you have talked to us about, the minimum required to do the saving in any cooperative at the age of 40 in preparation for exiting maybe formal employment? Thank you.
Okay. Any other question for Patrick? Daktari Sagero? Any other before I allow him to respond? Okay.
Okay. Philip Sagero, membership 3627. Very quick one on investment. How can you advise young people who want to invest rather than shares in the circle, issues of T-bond, are they viable? The government bonds and how the returns you see can help in terms of alternative cash flow from this.
Okay, last one here. Then is there any online, Sheila, for Patrick? Okay. Pewa Mike.
My name is Steven Pelo, membership number 6047. My question is to Mr. Omeo. I'm a Maasai, and you know the climate change, about drought, and right now my cows are in Kitui County, and I've been taking loans in Wanaanga, but the investment I used to make is to buy a lot of cows and sheep and goats. Now that there's this climate, how can you help me? Because I wish I got this message even when I was employed here 2019. And even I would like to tell the management that even if you get some new staff, please, don't just recruit us inside the Wanaanga circle or the loans without giving us such experts, because they actually change our life. Because when I was sitting here, I felt I met somewhere, because I wish I met you somewhere. And I want you to help me now that there is this climate change. Which some other good things that I can do? Because I want to sell those small sheep and goats left. How can I put in the shares, in the banks, or how can you improve me better? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Most of the comments we are receiving online, just to commend you for the wonderful presentation. Let me sample one. Mary from Mary Abulista, mafunzo mazuri sana. Maria Wakolo, I'm empowered. A question from Mwaura Kamau. Is Patrick available for individual consultancy? Over to you, Patrick.
I think even Gerald, the question you raised, apart from the SACCO side, you're basically asking, we have ideas, are they financially worth? And I think I have something to tell you there, because you represent the largest proportion of the future. I run a business called the Entrepreneurship Center with my friends, and we used to put in this business our own money, our own profits, to try and develop capacity in young people. And the one thing that I hear from young people is that we can do it, but when you bring them in the room, the doing disappears. Are you getting me? It's a difference having an idea, but to translate that idea into knowledge. That person who mentioned, who read the Bible verse, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is not information. Hello? Knowledge is not information. Knowledge is information put into practice. So a SACCO might not be the place to have ideas for you, for money, because the kind of money you need for the ideas that a young man would have would come from a different source. Here on Ngong Road, there's a place called Nairobi Garage. Right opposite, right before you reach Orthodox or what? What do you call that church, that hospital? Coptic. Before you reach Coptic, the next street, there's a very tall apartment on the other side of the road, right opposite it on the left-hand side. It's a place called Nairobi Garage. That's the kind of place that you should be in, should find time in the evening to engage with what we call incubational practices. You have to download that idea from your head and turn it into what we call a concept. A concept is something that can now be implemented. It is at that point when the idea has been given a proof of concept that someone can risk a shilling on you. Now, unfortunately, no one is going to risk their money on you to prove the concept. You will find angel investors who are willing to listen to you, to give you 100,000, to give you small amount of money, but to prove the concept. And when it's now approved, then money comes. But they will ask you for 30% of your business. And because you are inexperienced, you are thinking 30%. My friend, you have nothing. That concept is nothing unless it is proven. It is now the proven concept that can attract capital. Today, I mentioned to you 4 people here. Jim Nambaru is the largest owner of Equity Bank, not Munga. Munga had the idea. Jimna had the money to turn a loss-making family equity building society into a bank. Are you getting it? Someone has to be willing to risk their money. So a lot of you young people think that I have a beautiful idea, an idea that cannot produce money, cannot put money to the bank. It's not a concept. It is a hot air and anybody is thinking about it. I'm done with you. Everything else you ask me on a private session one-on-one. In terms of the question of investing in young people, T-bonds, the kind of financial instruments, are they viable? What's that gentleman? You Sagero? Good, very quickly, for everyone. This is not just for Sagero. There are 5 different assets or asset classes within the portfolio income. I mentioned them by income. On top, the worst or the worst risk that can swing any side is shares. Next to it is bonds. So write them that way in that order. The highest risk sits in shares. If you buy a share, it can move anywhere to 0 and the highest. So understanding how value comes in is very important for you to then make money from shares. Bonds are the next up there, especially the government bonds. The corporate bonds will not allow you to invest. The corporate bonds require $1 million bob and up, or 10 million or 100 million. They don't take private investors, small money. They take somebody who has excess money. Are we together? So bonds are next in that queue. Now bonds can move in value up or, but the movement is very small, very small. So if you look at the newspaper, you'll see bonds, especially the Business Daily on Thursday, the last 4 pages there. You'll see bonds priced as either 100%, 93, or 104. Those 3 prices are occurring in the market at the same time. Why? If you issue this bond when the interest rates are high, then the interest rates drop. It's a 10-year bond. When the interest rate has dropped, your interest now remain high. People who want a 10-year bond would rather buy that bond than buy a new one. Are you getting me? But if the interest rate now rose, so that now your bond is lower, the new bond is higher interest, the people who want to buy a similar bond would rather buy this new one. So bonds, the value of the bond goes with where the market interest is. Remember, a bond is a government of Kenya instrument for borrowing from the public. So when the government is borrowing like it is borrowing now, what do you expect? Interest rates are where? High. So new bonds issued now are coming with high interest rates. So that when the market will turn, so that the interest rates will drop, that bond will be very valuable compared to new ones. So when you want to buy a bond, you don't buy a bond because you are buying a bond for returns. A bond is bought with people, by people who will not need that money for at least 2 years. Why 2 years? Because the price of bonds can play for a while, and if you have an emergency and you have to sell the bond, you sell it at the price of the day. If it's today at 93, you sell at 93. If it's 100, you sell for 100. If it's 104, you sell for 104. So if you are keeping school fees money in bonds, you will sell at the price it is to get liquidity. So in terms of viability, I think I've explained that. Treasury bills come in next. Treasury bills are short-term investments of up to 1 year, 364 days. Bonds start from 365 days. The typical bond in Kenya is 365 days to 30 years, what we call infrastructure bond. Infrastructure bonds are good for retirees who need money coming regularly. So you can put your money there. You don't need the money, you only need the interest coming from it. The money melala pale. So treasury bills are for people who want some interest rate on money they are holding for around 90 days up to 1 year. Strictly speaking, the interest rate on treasury bill is purely inflation adjustment. It might look very good, but that reflects the purchasing power of the country. So it doesn't quite pay you extra, but it pays you better than a bank. Am I saying something? Yes. So the next item are now what we call unit trusts, and they come in 4 of them. I can't explain all of them. The equity one is made out of shares. The income fund is made out of bonds. What we call money market is cash and treasury bills. And just the way the treasury bill remains flat, the cash also remains flat. So those are the instruments you now need to know. You need to be taught about the strategy of the fund. Na ulinganishe na yako. Ninaenda huku. Hiyo inaenda huku ama inaenda huku. That you choose according to the one you want. Hapo tumeelewana? I think I've done the Masai guy, Stephen. Stephen, there are many answers to your question, but the key one is, it is difficult for Masai to stop having goats and cows. It might not be 0, but you need to diversify. That's the only answer, because climate change means that the weather is going to be bad or worse the following year. So what I have seen, which people nowadays do, and you can do it in modern farming, if you have the money, buy land or you have land, you specialize on buying feeds and that feed you have there, or get water out. So when the people are suffering like now, you don't keep goats during the year. You buy when they are suffering. You go and buy all the ones they are selling because you have food in your place. You keep them alive, fatten. When the time is out, you do what? Sell, because you can't do the Masai way. Ile ya kuchunga. You now wakati yake imepita. The ideal thing is to try and do feedlot thing, where when people are now, they are selling them for 3K every goat. You buy all the 3Ks. Then you keep them for up to 4, 5, 6 months on your feed and your water, if you have water. A friend of mine has done that somewhere near the border town in towards Tanzania, and he's doing very well. He's just buying and fattening and selling, because you still want to get the cows. Like a Masai, it's difficult to get a cow out of you. That's for a fact. It's just part of your life. So it's more of change what to do with it. And I think until we meet again, I am off to Baringo, which is really dry, and I'm required there.
Thank you so much. But before you leave, it would be encouraging to hear these comments. Nelly Rota, very informative. More of these trainings should be organized going forward. Nancy Maangi, it was worth my time. Thank you. Flora Wakolo, thank you. WANA-ANGA for the presentations and providing the virtual meetings attendance. Francis Katiku, this day is well spent. Expectations exceeded. Paul Rabala, indeed, it has been good. So we thank you so much. Even as you leave, take our greetings. Let's now take questions. Let's first address the ones that have been raised. There are questions pertaining to credit committee. Si mmejipanga? So nikianza hapa nikienda hivi ni sawa? Okay, karibu.
Hello. Yeah, this is about credit. We have some questions. And Betty Akoth is asking about our normal loans, that if possible, we should go below 1 month. That means we should pay, or we should give out less than a month period. It could be possible, it could also be tricky, because normally normal loan is pegged on BOSA, whereby we receive the returns every month. So for us to be able to certify every member and pay the loan, we have to give that period of receiving the money, then paying that BOSA loan, which is the normal loan. But that one notwithstanding, we have loans that we give out every day, every time that you come. It's only the BOSA, which is the normal loan, which is sometimes called development loan, that is pegged on that money because of the interest, unless we get the money from from front office, and maybe charge higher interest on the same, because we depend on the monthly income for that particular normal loan. And we have reduced it to 1 month because we normally get returns every month, so that we can be able to settle that loan. And the other question is, please, from Lois Waidera, please consider granting one loan less than high or of their contributions. This is to avoid maybe the guarantor's issue, that we should give a loan equivalent or less than your contribution in the circle. And normally we give loans with a multiplier, maybe to satisfy a need of a member. So this one, the most thing is the guarantors, and most so the guarantors has got no problem but the loanee, the person taking the loan. If we all become credibles, and we pay our loans in good time, then the guarantors will not have a problem and the loans will be multiplied. And then that will be okay. The other option for Waithera is to keep a lot of deposit in the circle, whereby if you have a million and you need 500,000, we give you against your own deposit so that you don't go to bother somebody to guarantee you. And also by depositing this money, we also give Wanaanga a power base that was being explained here, so that Wanaanga will not be able to get the fixed depositors from outside to come and charge a higher interest. And that is something that I think would be done if possible. I'll give Magdalene, but before that, I have something here to tackle. Let me do this. Yeah, we have Peter Career who was asking why charge commission on restructuring of a loan when one take another loan. When you are structuring a loan, you are getting this money from Wanaanga to remove the other loan, because we don't charge on the structuring if you come with your money to pay. But if Wanaanga is giving you this money to be able to pay your loan back, and this money is deposited by another member to make interest, and we give it or pay your loan in the form of restructuring without any interest, what will I pay? Maybe like a Wanaanga who is an investor and he needs his return back. So that is why that commission is charged on restructuring. But if you're restructuring with your own money, we'll not charge you that in or that commission. The other one that I would, I think I'll give our young and good lady here to be able to answer a few questions, but you can still clarify. Thank you so much. I think everybody has heard me. Thank you.
Good afternoon once more. Okay, I'll tackle several questions which were asked online. I'll start with the one from Peter Carey. We never captured the membership number. Why charge commission on restructuring a loan when one take another loan? The answer is no commission is charged on interest, but on the remaining balance. Remember, initially we used to say remaining balance times the number of months remaining, but now we only charge for the amount of loan that is you have left to pay. Then there is one from Kennedy Mayenga. Okay. He's asking about Presta app on applying, not working. That one, it will be answered by the Presta because we have Presta here. Then there is one from Richard and Bosted, Mkolwe. Debt collector has been there for long, but no member has been arrested. Now to answer that, we have really engaged debt collectors for a whole year, from April last year up to this year. We are still on them and still we are engaging two more. But to answer that, we have been able to collect around 10 million shillings from the defaulted loans. And that's why we are engaging these members. And when we find the case is so hard, or we find that some members are not committal, we'll make follow-up on field visits after that. Then there's still another person who had asked how we pay them. These debt collectors, we are not all Wanaanga is not paying anything from, we are not paying the debt collectors from our pockets. This money is paid from what the amount is collected, from the amount that is collected. And it is about 15% of the collected amount. And now the defaulter is the one who is to pay this amount. Another question came about what happened to the guarantors because they are already attached to the already defaulted loans. When the member or the defaulter is able to pay all the amount, then a refund is to be made to the guarantors. Another question. Yeah, after whole amount is paid from the defaulted loans, when it is collected, it is cleared. A guarantor is able to get refund. There's another question from Caroline 1478. Okay, that one I've answered. That is exactly that I've answered now. There's still one more. I think I've left it here. From Akolo Samuel about insurance deducted from the loan and what happens after that. The loan that is being insured, we normally insure it in case of death. So when a member dies, that money is used to recover or to pay the loan, and it's not refundable. Okay, there's another question. That one is for debt collectors. I've just said WANA-ANGA does not incur any cost on this, and only 15% from the collected amount is what is paid. There's another question which was asked, can we have our own system of WANA-ANGA that will allow members access various services, but not to use Presta? This one is to make you understand that this system is ours, it's for WANA-ANGA. And Presta is just, we are having a partner. We have partnered with Presta. It's like how ATM with cooperative work. So the system is ours, it's not for Presta. We are just partnering. So another member had asked that Presta app is on Presto is not working. I would encourage the members who have got this difficult to contact the office. They will get the help from there. Another question, how to append our signatures online and how to secure online signature in light of cyber crime. I want to ensure you, although Presta are here, they are going to say something about appending the signature. It's very short and clear, and it is also secured. So Presta will elaborate on how to append the signatures from now. There's another question which have come just right now. I've answered it. It's about insurance. Yes, I think I've tackled the questions we are able to capture from members who have joined virtually. Thank you.
About the insurance, just said it, the insurance that we get 2% of the loan. This is to secure when you take a loan today, by bad luck, God calls you tomorrow, that loan will not be paid by the guarantors or the beneficiaries. That loan will be offset by the insurer, which now currently we have CIC insurance that we are doing that for us. So any loan that you take and maybe you passed on, that is the role of that insurance. And I believe the insurance, how it works, was explained by the chairman when he was talking. So there is, I think that's what I wanted to clarify, and that's the point. Thank you.
Afternoon, members. There is a question which has come from somebody who has not put his name. The question is asking, what happens if a member clears the loan earlier than contract period? Who asked the question? Yes, as it happens in other places, not only in Wanaanga. When you clear a loan before the time, we will not charge you interest. Up to the date of the clearance is what we charge. And again, the 7% that we are charging, the interest, is because the loan that the fixed depositors who are giving us the money, that's why we have got liquid. We are very liquid. That part of 7% goes to them. Part of that 7 also goes to our dividends, which you are doing what? Which we are giving you at the end of the March, once we hold our AGM. I think that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we are trying to manage time. Prester, Clifford, I'll give you a minute to just shed some more light. Just come. As the chair prepares also to respond to the questions.
Good afternoon, members. Before I get to the questions, I just want to give a brief overview of, for those who haven't interacted with the app, how you access it. There are 2 channels. One is the USSD platform. The number is *377 *119#. Then the other is the mobile app that you download on Play Store. That's called Presta Sign. I realized a member mentioned that they want their own app and not Presta. We are the service provider and we are in talks. So very soon you will see the name Presta disappear and you will have the Wanaanga colors and feel, but it's work in progress. So don't worry about that. It fully belongs to Wanaanga. It belongs to the membership. So as for the app not working, there could be very many different parameters. So I would advise, because I just tested it right now and it seems to be fine. So I would advise the users with challenges to please contact the office. And then we usually look at it on a case-by-case, scenario to see what the challenge may be. And we should be able to sort you out within the shortest time possible. And a member had asked how you append signatures and whether the digital signatures is secure. So when you apply for the loan, either on USSD or the application, and you get to the final stage, you will be, there's upon where you append your signature, either as the applicant or the guarantor, you will see a green sign that you click on, and it gives you 3 options. One is to sign on the phone or the tablet or whatever device that you're using. The other one is maybe sign on a piece of paper and capture the signature. And then the other one is maybe if you have the signature saved on a device, you can append that. There's some leaflets we left at the FOSA that you can go collect that give you instructions on how to use the platform. We've also shared some soft copy material, I think, which if you contact the SACCO, they can share with you if you have WhatsApp. And as for the security, it's very secure. Without going into too much detail, the government had passed a law in 2020, the height of COVID, September, to allow for digital signatures to be recognized. So there are various security measures we've put in place. One of them being that each member, to access the service, has to create their own PIN, and only they can access that facility through their device, and nobody else can access it, and no one outside of the Wanaanga membership can access that. And finally, I would just like to remind members that not to repeat loans. We have scenarios where you can apply for a loan, and if you face a particular challenge, you might need to repeat it again. I think the app is very interactive, or the platform, so it will let you know if there's a challenge. And if you contact the office, we are able to rectify that challenge so you can complete that loan to completion. And also as well, I'd advise that you sign your loans and complete the document, because remember, this is a legal document. It's just the same way you would sign the physical loan form, you also now sign the electronic loan form. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's also good to note that the line they are using must be the one that is registered with us. So ensure that we have the correct telephone number. So please update your records. Yes? An email address. So if you've not been getting that, please have it corrected. Let me welcome now the chair to handle his set of questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Just before I go to my set of questions, there is something that was being, I think it's Booster who requested, we have had a debt collector and no one has been arrested. The debt collector does not arrest anyone. What happens is, if we try getting money from you and we can't get it, we go on to the next stage whereby we go into court cases. You had the court, the cooperative tribunal, and from there, we have to go do a case, and then we are given permission. Actually, we have been given permission to go and try and recover assets from some members. But as I told you, wananchi ni wangumu, enda last address, unakuta nyumba kamoja na kitanda peke yake. And you know, the court depends on all that information. But at least we have gone that way. So it's not that we are not doing any arrest, we are trying to do. So I'll go on to my questions. There is one whereby Juliana Auma, how much can you save in a fixed deposit? I think what matters here is the minimum. The minimum rota is 5,000. 5,000, we accept from 5,000 onwards, as much as you can or as much as you have to spare and get some income, you're welcome. You have opportunity of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Then there was a question by Kelvin Ayanga. We need our own system as WANA-ANGA, as members, that will allow members access various services. I think it was answered. And our business is not drawing up those apps. Pesta and other groups and other companies are the ones who come up with those apps or the banking systems. Then we do the due diligence, and the one we choose is the one we do business with. So we have to have someone at the back running those systems. It's not us who are running it. We are just users. And as I said in my presentation, yes, we'll continue doing that and have more services being provided. There was Patrick Kirwani, and he's talking about, and also there's Boosted, who was talking about the virtual meetings. Patrick is saying the the physical meetings allows members to know each other, to socialize, and at least it is good. That is what we are trying. At the moment, Patrick, you're on virtual, you're far away, but you're participating. If you have the means, coming and attending a physical meeting like this one, this is a hybrid whereby it's physical and virtual. So we are having that opportunity of meeting each other, but we also want other members who are not able to travel and come to participate. That's why they're asking questions. We can talk with them. Boosted was saying that in virtual voting, a lot of rigging can happen. I don't think it's true. Actually, what happens is, as you register, you're registering with your mobile number, you're registering with your membership number, and those are unique numbers to you. So if I am Nicholas Maingi, and someone is trying to pretend it's me, you have to have my number. and the number that is known by the system. Otherwise, how will I be able to vote as Nicholas Maingi and I'm not a member? So I think members, yes, change is difficult, but at times we have to accept. Change will come and change us. I told you the example of those times when mobiles were coming in. I knew of people who said, I'll never, ever touch a mobile phone. But ile aposta sasa iko wapi? This is the only communication we are having. Even telecom themselves have come to mobiles. So as I was telling you, with time, we have to go digital. So I think, and the advantage I was saying, we are going to have more members participating. I think it's better off than just saying, those who are able to come here, come, tuketi hapa, tukutane, na to vote. At least someone in Mandera, Marsabit, ataskia, yes, I attended that AGM and I managed to vote over director that I wanted. There is a Kelvin Ayanga, I think, again, ATM. Why is it taking forever to avail an ATM after expiry? Yes, we are linked with Coop Bank. Coop Bank was taking some time to renew their ATM cards. But now they're bringing it before it expires. So by the time your card is expiring, I can assure you now we have them with us. That has changed. As they know the card is produced and we are given that card. As someone said, does it mean us participating online will not get payment? I think the person did not get it right. You know, we have physical. And as I said, some of us who are here maybe tried once or twice to join in. Some are already joining in. That one will register as virtual. You have registered outside here as physical. We have to be given time at least to try and separate. That's why I said, because we know, especially those who came here physical, umetumia pesa kidogo fare, na pengine hujakula, tupeni 2 hours, tutazieka kwa bank account. There's someone alikuwa anasema, can we have it in M-Pesa? It will be even another longer period. Because now is us getting from your account to M-Pesa. Now we don't do bulk. So please be patient. We can assure you, immediately after we finish, after 2 hours, utasikia kasimu kakilia, ujue umepata kitu. That was asked by Beatrice Jerry and Boosted Mkole. Let us get to know more of digital before you tell us to vote virtually. Chances of rigging, I think I've answered that. That's Boosted who was asking about it. Can we have Wanaanga days on Saturdays or non-working days? Yes. Someone says, kazi, na balancing kazi na nini, it's becoming a bit difficult. Yes, for some members, we'll see what we can do, but usually, it's usually best if we can use a Friday so that at least your weekend is free. Tumefanya kazi tangu Monday, Friday, Saturday ndio nakuta ka nafasi ya kufanya kitu. But with time, I think I'll ask my board to see if it's really necessary and we can think about it as a good idea. We can be having our meetings on Saturday morning. I can see already hands saying no, but this is a suggestion and we'll look at the merits and demerits. Boosted again said, buying a house is a no-no. This issue, we should come up with a proper, it drains out our budget. Members, I said, we are looking for office space. We are doing a feasibility study at the moment, looking at land, a house, or I told you, for example, recently we found that hizi nyumba za ghorofa, they are selling office space. And that becomes a title for that office space. So si ati tunaenda kununua nyumba yote, but we are trying to see. And then what they're saying is, in a long term, in 5 years, mkilipa kidogo kidogo, itakuwa yenyu. So these are things that we will look at. And when it comes to it, this is a major issue. We'll have to call for a special meeting or an AGM. So it's not something that we are going to pass, but we can't come and say we want to buy a house or we want to buy office space, and we can't give you the merits and demerits. We have to give you those merits and demerits and see what there is a proper procedure of at least doing that. We visited the Commissioner of Cooperatives, and he gave us about 11 points. Yeah, 11 points that we have to follow before we come to members. Because even we have to request for permission from them. They have to look at our books. Are these guys capable? It's not something that we can just wake up and say we are buying. So I think those are the ones I got online. And Morioki, perhaps you should now give, at least we can have four questions due to time. At least now our physical, pia wamesikia wameuliza maswali. Santeni.
Okay, as you've heard, let's give him a clap. I've been a teacher for quite a while, and I can tell when sugar levels are, so we also need to be conscious of that. I am aware that some of the questions that you'd have wanted to ask have already been asked and answered. So please do not repeat what has been asked so that we manage time better. So as the chair has said, we shall allow very, very minimal questions. Lawrence Steve's hand is up. Waweru's hand is up. Mitei, I think we had given you an opportunity. Is there somebody who has not asked? Yes. Atipia, chair amesema hata wewe utauliza. Sawa. So that's all. Let me start here, then followed by Musamali, then him, then give me a mic there. Very quickly, straight to the point. And kindly indicate who your question is directed to.
My question is to the chairman or the whole board. Other circles that take collateral, unless the loan exceeds something like 5 million, they usually do all the paperwork, but they don't register the title. Why am I saying this? This lady will come for a loan of 2 million with her plot in Ngong. When you go to the full process, you have used almost 10% of the money she is looking for. So it is maybe food for thought. Talk to the lawyer and see what they do. But I know in other places, actually like another circle I belong to, unless you are taking over 10 million, that's the only time they do the actual charging. Otherwise, before then, you fill all the paperwork and the lawyers know how to go about it. The other thing is, I can't see Gojiri, what he took us through. You have to encourage people to save. How do you encourage people to save? Generate a profile, and you have people whom you call super savers, and reward them. If you have a reward system, that if you have saved 2 million, sometimes call them for breakfast. If you have 1 million, call them for breakfast. Sometimes call them and give them a token. It could be a bag, it could be a jersey. That way you encourage people to save. But just saving for the purposes of loans. Some people here don't want to take any loans, but they want to save. Food for thought.
Thank you. Thank you. I think yours is a proposal. Lawrence Steve.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, mine actually is not a repetition, but just a confirmation with the debt collectors. From the beginning, the chairman said they are on the way coming. Are they here? the debt collectors. If they are here, please, maybe they have to also to tell us something. It's very painful to pay a loan for somebody. We have been told that so far the achievement, they have collected around 10 million or something like that. And yet we are still paying loans for these people. Among them, the former board members. It's very painful. So let us have contact with maybe the debt collectors and so that we see what we can do. So mine was just to know if we can be in contact with the debt collectors.
Okay.
And if they're here, let them also say something.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Mine is to the prester. I would wish to know whether...
Name, please.
Sorry?
Your name.
My name is Peter, member number 1664. So my question goes to prester, whether maybe you've done audit on successful loans application and those which have also failed, because I had a bad experience before, and I think it can discourage people from using it. Though you tried to help me, but it was not successful. So I think it's good to do some audit on successful application and maybe do some remedial measures. Thank you.
Thank you. There was one there, and then that side, Ndongo, no question. We are taking two. That Nini has been so quiet. Then we'll come to Mam. Alafu tumalizie na wewe. Pale hakuna. So the last one. Kuna mwingine? Mitei. Oh, I thought Mitei had the mic.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Papa, and then.
My name is Anne, member number 4099. I was just asking if you could have a till, because I own a business, an eatery, and I deal with students. Most of the cash goes to the till, and one bank by the name SBM takes most of the cash. So it pains me a lot if I can get a loan from Wanaanga and I can't get daily contribution to them. And I only make monthly contribution.
Okay.
Till numbers.
Pay bill.
Not pay bill.
Till.
Buy goods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That will be tackled by the chair. Then there was a hand. Where else? Mom. Then Gregory. Okay. And I think that will wind up the question session.
I'm Beatrice Wayaki from Kikuyu, member number 2153. Siku moja nilienda kwa bank, nikaenda kwa ATM. Sikuweza kutoa pesa sababu kulikuwa hakuna network yenyu. Nikaenda kwa bank, nikaambia ati hamjaweka network. So I had to go home without money. What is happening to the network?
Okay. That we shall answer. M-Pesa. Not M-Pesa, ATM.
My question is, my name is Stephen, again, member number 6047. My question to the CEO, it's about shares and interest, the dividends and the interest. Now, I have shares in the SACCO. Do they inazaa interest ama dividends tu peke yake? Hiyo kwa swali hakuna interest hiyo pesa yangu ikilalanga hapo kwenyu. Vile loan yenyu iko na interest. Hiyo pesa yangu iko kwenyu kwa share iko na ama ni nangoja tu dividend ya mwisho wa mwaka. Hiyo tu.
Okay, thank you. The last Mitei, I'm being corrected that I didn't give you the opportunity. I thought you had spoken. So we shall allow you to ask 2 questions. I will compensate. Maswali mawili. Ongeza ingine.
Na moja ilikuwa ya credit na imechipiwa.
Okay.
Credit debt collectors.
Okay.
Na hii ingine ni ya chairman, kwa sababu wameongea akasema ya kwamba eti siku hizi corporate bank wanaleta cards 1 month earlier. Now yangu ili expire February na we are in March na haicha kucha. So kindly correct that one, na kama kunaenda kuuliza mnaweza enda kuulizia sisi huko.
That's okay, but we can handle that.
Okay, asante sana Mitei. I think, unajua mimi huwa siko physically, but my IT person, I think early this year, and I know it was an issue with Cooperative Bank. It was an issue with Cooperative Bank. Actually, what happened, when your card expires, you had to come to apply for new. But now I think they have changed the mode. They are bringing them, I don't know how many days before, but we are having your card as it expires. Perhaps, Ricky, is that true? And Mitei deal know you immediately after atakusaidia. Okay, Mitei, after this, I'll see you so that we follow up that. Yeah, thank you for that. Wawero, thank you very much for those insights. And it's something I think I've been thinking about, especially savers. Anake, every AGM, why can't we have the best savers wakipewa kitu? It's something that we'll think about. And one issue, collateral, ndio tunaingia, hata ndio tuliambiwa kwamba sasa tunaweza kufanya. So we are even thinking of more products, whereby wale wanataka kununua gari, tukisikizana na nini, we get your logbook, tunalipa hiyo farm, ukishamaliza kulipa loan, tunakurudisha logbook. Those are things, but come in for a loan that you are qualified. Si ati nimesema ukuje loan, unakuja mbio leo unataka pesa, na huku uko umekazwa. Samahani, debt collector, unasema unataka kuwaona. Okay, they were invited by the credit, but unajua they are here. Oh, huyu alifika kitambo. But just to tell you, as you said, in fact, those two board members you're talking about, we all know them. When is it? 24th April? 24th April tuko kotini for one of the members. Mwingine tulipewa ruhusa tuende tukachukue mali. But getting them is something. But debt collector kazi yake ni kuokota, ukizidi. Na hii anaokota kutoka defaulter, si ati ni wewe. Kutoka defaulter. Na defaulter wako? So, wacha aseme kitu kidogo.
Habari zenu. I am Job Opondo Otieno. I work with the Casian auctioneers. I'm a debt collector. I stammer, so at times I'll stammer, just bear it with me. So what we always do, we always contact defaulters. We have a list of defaulters. We give you a call, we call you, we introduce ourselves, the people we are, and what we do. So we tell you, we are calling you from Casian auctioneers on behalf of Wanaanga Sacco. Then we tell you, you have a loan, you took a loan, this is the amount that you took, and you defaulted at some point. So what we basically want, you give us a payment plan on how you're going to pay this loan. We always give room. You can always pay this loan on a monthly basis. If you can't pay it at a go, then you pay it on a monthly basis. We give you audience, we listen to you, then we note down everything that you say. Then when that time reaches, we will always get back to you and inquire whether, have you paid the money in line with how we talked and agreed with you. Then if there are people who pay, the people who they honor their whatever they say, and there are people who don't pay. Then in this case, when we reach you severally, but you don't commit whatever you say, we always have we can always assess your guarantors. That is when we come in. This is when now we reach your guarantors. We explain to them so that it's always good for them to know what is on the ground, what is happening. They can always give us a link on where you are. When now it reaches that point, we make it a point to come to you in person. We'll keep trace. If you are still working, we'll come to your place of work. When you are at home, maybe you are retired or something, we'll through a guarantor, we will locate you and come to your place. then the people that always, we have people, I work in the office, but we have field officers. Field officers will always come and take something from maybe there's something worth that amount. They might come and take it. But before they do that, they will want to listen to your part of the story and what is your plan. Yes, that is so far what we do. And my advice is that for those who pay, continue paying. But those who have defaulted, I know amongst you here, we have some guarantors. Make the work easier for us to liaise. We can liaise with you people. Through you, we believe we can always get these people who are defaulted. And I believe it will be more easier. Another thing, there's always room for getting a buy-off. Getting a buy-off always applies on a case that maybe you're currently employed. We only need to look at your slip. Then after your slip, we will. There are banks that are buying these loans. From your slip, you will be gauged and will know what you qualify of getting from this bank. You can get more than that, more than what you brought from Wanaanga Sacco. Then you'll get another top up that you will take home. But you will only qualify for this loan if your pay slip. It's your pay slip that will make you qualify for this loan, because there's a third rule. I believe those who are aware about the third rule. A third rule applies in that whatever remains in the slip should not be lower than a third. Yes. So those who are currently working, you can think of a buy-off. Those who are retired, you can, I believe you had some savings, or maybe you had something that, you had some projects that are giving you incomes, on a monthly basis. You can commit. There's always room to talk. There's room for paying partially. You don't have to pay it once. But if you can pay it at a go, well and good. That is all I can say. Maybe if you can have another question based on the same, I can clarify more. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Debt Collector. The other issue was the audit of the PESTA. We usually get a report, the monthly board meeting from credit on how the loan application, because this is a new thing. So we want to monitor and see how the online, how is it working? There will come a time we'll have to tell you from now on, Takua online. I'm not saying it's immediate, but it will come a time. We'll be forced to do it. But we are monitoring and seeing how this thing is working. And as you heard, teething problems are always there. Sisi, sijai kutumia hiyo kitu, lazima saa zingine na kwenda hapa chini kidogo. Let's get in touch. We practice, borrow more, and you become perfect. Thank you for that. Till number. Madam, till number is usually just allowed to give the account number. But you find the business number. But you find for us to deal with various accounts, loan, savings, what do you call it, shares, deposit, we need to have the account number and which account are you paying. That is the business number, Wanaanga, and you have to specify kama yako, member number 4099. There is a certain account number which contains that 4099. Ili tujue ikiingia ni yako. But if we do it on till number, it will just come to Wanaanga and we'll not know who has sent it. I hope you understand that. Madam, network. Hata hapa umeona tukingangana kidogo inapotea. Pole sana. It's not only you. It has occurred. In fact, I was embarrassed. Nilikuwa nishapeleka family wamekula. Nikatoa card. Ricky, I had to call him on a Sunday very many times. He may decline. But those are things that we know with time, we can see how it. There are some things we can't we can't change. Wana Stephen, shares inazaa dividend. Rebits, deposit inazaa rebits ama what we call interest. Actually, hiyo dividend ndio interest ya shares. Lakini mepewa jina ingine. I think you know shares ni ile minimum 25 and above. Have you attended our AGM? Oh, those are deposits, which are then sometime in April, we'll have an AGM. And I think you heard one of the officials saying, mtaulizwa hii profit tufanye nini nayo? Ndio hiyo. Some are dividends, which is produced by the shares, and the other is interest, which is produced by the deposits. So, yeah. So I think those are all. Members, I think Murioki said sugar levels naenda chini. I think we have had a very fruitful meeting. I'll request just 5 minutes. There's a sister circle. And I'm saying it's a sister circle, it's not Wanaanga circle, which we thought can assist in investing in land or build housing. And we have an MOU with them, whereby if you want to buy land, we can finance you, and immediately we take that na tunakupa loan on that stand. Okay? Badala ya kungoja, what do you call it? Kungoja guarantors. Hiyo land unanunua tutaichukua kama ndio guarantee yetu. But I would like to request them at least to say something, at least wasiseme tunafanya collateral now, alafu na atua ruhusu, na sisi ndio tuliona, because Wanaanga is not allowed to do investment. Let's open up something which can assist. Joseph, karibu.
I know. Hey, good afternoon. My members, good afternoon. I know we are tired. We have had a wonderful day. We have received a lot of information, and I'm so glad that you came. I am Joseph Kagenyi, member number 3419 and in Wanaanga, but I also belong to Wanahewa. Wanahewa was born in 2016 after deliberations by Wanaanga to have a business arm. Because as the chairman has said, Wanaanga has no mandate to buy land, to sell land. It has no mandate according to the SACCO rules. Now, we have now Wanahewa. I know I'll need only 5 minutes and I'm done. Now, we started in 2016. They registered in November. And by 2017, we had our first AGM and we got an office running. Why I'm talking this is before you get these slides, if it is around, we upload them on the website of WANA-ANGA so that you can know how far are we. I'm talking of 6 years of success. And why am I calling it success? On that day, on 10th of March, we were elected to be members of the office. And on the way, we were only discussing, saying we have Wanahewa, which is supposed to be, it is not a SACCO, but it is a housing society. You hear that? Housing society. But most members, by choice, not by automatic being a member of Wanaanga, you become an automatic member. No, by choice, you pay only 21,000 shillings. 20,000 is the minimum shares you need in Wanahewa. 1,000 is registration fee. And after that, now I think we are about 100 members. About 100 members. What have we done? We went to Kisumu, we bought 14 acres, we subdivided the acres to 106 plots. They are bought and people own them. You have somebody who bought land in Kisumu? Yes, I can see Rota, yes, thank you. Yeah, you see. Then we went also, even before that, we went to Joska. We bought some 7 acres, we subdivided to 54 plots, they are all gone. Now, through this housing, members have been empowered. I can own land, which I can call my land, and get a title deed, which I can use to secure some loan or do something else. Why we are talking about this? The gentleman who talked to us, Patrick, has made my head start climbing up. Not high blood pressure, no. Because he's pinpointing some things I did not do, which I was supposed to do. There was not another man they invited for us, Mr. Gashara, a lecturer. After the day these two people have spoken, I have just said I messed it up, but it is not recoverable, but I can do something. I'll go through Wanahewa and Wanaanga. I'm feeling I should deposit more money. Why? When it grows there, I can come. I am retired, but I have a loan. You see, I retired and and I went to Wanahewa. I also bought shares and they have dividends. The highest dividend ever paid. We paid in 2017, 2018, 30% of your shareholding. 30%. I have recorded, it is in our books. Now, to move from there, what are we doing currently? I want to encourage you to buy more land because we have land currently in Machakos phase 3. Phase 1 is gone, phase 2 is gone, phase 3. We are only paying per plot 695,000 shillings, and this includes processing fee. And what I have seen in the last 5 years or 6 years is that you can become a different person. You can own more property and you can become a rich man. Remember, I retired 3 years ago. Yes, 3 years. It's 3 years in May this year. And I have become like my friend Wawero tells you, I have all the time on my side. I've become a real estate. I'm putting up houses. Yeah, 795. Sorry, I said 695. We are selling each at 795. Okay, but I think I'm corrected. That's the price. But we also have more in Nakuru, Yesheha Farm, next to the President's Rad. People know Yesheha Farm? President Kenyatta family has a big chunk of land there, and we go across it and we have land with him. And because of the president or their investment, they are putting up a road coming on from the Simba factory on the road to Sarga. You go straight to the plot. There we are selling each 1/8 at 550. Please buy yourself some land. Just like they say on TV, buy it and do not wait to buy. Just buy and wait to see your money grow. And finally, we have an MOU, as the chairman has said, that we have been sharing some resources. You see, Wanaanga, we want to thank you, Chairman, for giving us homage. We are your children. You've also given us homage. And as we generate profits, we also want to share those profits with you. And by the way, you may not be aware, Wanaanga has bought a lot of plots from Wanahewa. True. In every investment they have bought, we can now sell them back at much more. Those who are at Machakos, we are selling actually 795. In the neighborhood, it is 1.5. But through the circle, which we have guaranteed you, you buy at a cheaper rate, and you can sell at a bigger rate. And our way forward is to make sure someday we put up houses for members. Or you buy the plot, you tell us to build for you, and we build it, and we leave you living there. Ask me how much does it cost to put up a house? A 2-bedroom house, you don't need 2 million. You don't need that. Neither do you need, actually, I have been doing it. I have been doing something. How many know where I'm going somewhere? I'm already now on my first floor. Okay? And the ones below have been taken. So what he was saying about 13, 14,000, I have already 25,000 shilling coming up. And that's not the whole plot is giving me more than that. Within the last 3 years, I'm now a landlord of 10 tenants. Do you hear that? Now 10 tenants. When I left here, I had a bush, but I got some support. You make sure to make use of your time. Buy the land now. You can use your whatever, your pension to put it up. All, if you don't buy, if you don't use your salary, which is so strong, your salary is so strong. The one Wanaanga is using to give you a loan. You can use it even in the bank. I have heard the banks looking for me. Banks. Wawero is aware that banks will call you. Why can't we, why don't you come? We give you. Just like Wanaanga is giving loans, they are looking for you. Why? They realize you have an income you can generate. When money is not borrowed, it does not generate anything. It only becomes useful when it's borrowed. Thank you very much. God bless you, and long live Wanaanga and build up Wanahewa. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. At least you have heard about that. It's part of education. And najua tulianza na mtu ni plot. Na sasa anasema yeye ni landlord. So it's something that is doable. I'll request Mary come and give a vote of thanks for having our members come to the meeting. Mary. And a final prayer. Members online would really like to thank you. I think we have recorded more than 300 members. And here I'm seeing again almost that number. So members, yes, change of issues is difficult to accept. Lakini nafikiria a virtual hybrid meeting inatusaidia sote. Sawa? Sawa, asante.
Wow. When something is too good, we say, wow. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chairman, for this opportunity. And with all protocol observed, let me move a vote of thanks. And first and foremost is to the Almighty God for giving us this wonderful day for our meeting and for giving us Wanaanga. I have heard so many testimonies here, and I know there are more. We have saved money, we have borrowed, and we have used it to develop ourselves. And if each and every one of us was given opportunity to say what they have done with Wanaanga, it will be so much. So we say thank you to our God for giving us Wanaanga and for giving us this day to learn a lot. We'll go home, not the same as we came, and our mind are racing already. We need to go and do things because we convert that knowledge to actions. And I also want to thank the board of WANA-ANGA SACCO for organizing this educational day for the members. It's been a while, and I thank the human resource and the credit committee for preparing such a presentation to enlighten members on the products we have at WANA-ANGA SACCO. I also want to thank the supervisory committee who supervised the board and make sure that whatever they have told us and promised us today are going to implement. So I thank the supervisory committee where I belong, and our chair is here, Mr. Nguyo. And also the management and the staff of WANA-ANGA SACCO, for they also implement the objectives of the board, and they are always there serving us well at WANA-ANGA SACCO. I know when members come, they don't meet the board or the supervisory committee, but they are received by the management through our CEO, Mr. Rota. They are able to serve us well. I will also want to thank the facilitators of today. Mr. Dr. Wamaya has left, and our officials from the ministry, but we want to thank them for gracing this occasion. I also want to thank the director or the directorate of KMD for allowing members to attend this meeting, and also for giving us this space where we have held our meeting. They are our hosts also as WANA-ANGA SACCO. So we want to say thank you to the director of KMD and also the directorate. I also don't want to forget to thank our members, the members of WANA-ANGA. WANA-ANGA SACCO belongs to you. And I want to thank you, our honorable members, for entrusting us with the responsibility of taking care of your wealth. That is the investment you bring your savings to Wanaanga. Thank you so much for entrusting us with that. And we promise by the help of God that we'll be good stewards of that which we are saving in Wanaanga Sacco. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I will just request that we stand as we pray our closing prayer. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come before you this afternoon, Lord God Almighty, to say thank you for being with us this day. We thank you, Lord, for the opportunity that we have had to listen and to be sharpened as members of Wanaanga in the way to save our money and invest, that through it, oh Lord, you may bless us and give us more wealth. We thank you, Lord, for the gift of life today and the gift of good health. Thank you, Lord, for being with us from beginning to the end. We want to pray that you may continue blessing Wanaanga Sacco to rise from where it is to the next level. We pray, Lord, even for the leadership of Wanaanga, that Jehovah, Lord, in the offices you have placed them, they shall be good stewards. Thank you, dear Father, for you are going to bless us and will never remain the same again. We give you all the glory, all the honor, for we are prayed, trusting and believing in your precious name. Amen. Thank you. I'll give up to